This is the all-new Community Connection. I'm your host, Jade Harrell, keeping you connected to our community. Offering a path to financial freedom, an opportunity to get into banking, to work on wealth, and to change your financial situation. It's called RedDough. RedDough, a nonprofit organization that provides resources to make it possible to earn economic independence. I'm joined today by Michael O'Brien, who is the president of the RedDough Money Centers. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Jade. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Tell me about this idea of RedDough.
Well, again, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk to you today. The RedDough Money Center is a nonprofit alternative to payday lending, check cashing, and other fringe banking services. It's owned and operated by an organization called Prosperity Connection, which is a nonprofit 501c3. And its mission at Prosperity Connection is to strengthen our region through economic empowerment by providing resources such as financial education and other support services to the low to moderate income residents of our community. Prosperity Connection started back in 2009 by offering free financial education, and it actually has 3 locations called Excel Centers where folks can actually go for consumer information, for financial literacy, and social services. They're all free to the community. We've got one in Pagedale, one in St. John, and also one in the Old North neighborhood down the street from Crown Candy. And so this all has been in the process for some time now, but over time we realized that simply providing these resources through the Excel Centers wasn't quite enough, because there's so many people out there that are using payday lenders and check cashing services that are stripping wealth right out of their households. You know, way too expensive, way too predatory in nature. But unfortunately, these folks don't have a lot of options.
There you go.
So we thought, why not create a more consumer-friendly and affordable alternative for these services that will help people keep more money in their pocket? And that was the reason behind coming up with RedDough.
Were you with the St. Louis Community Credit Union previously?
Yes, I was. Prosperity Connection was originally founded by St. Louis Community Credit Union, has since become a separate entity and rebranded as Prosperity Connection. And so I kind of went over with a couple of other credit union employees to help get things started, not only with the Excel Centers, but ultimately with RedDough.
I've always loved the Excel Centers. I mean, I took part in classes personally to investigate, but really came out on the better end by having had been there.
Well, I couldn't agree more. And one of the interesting things about RedDough is it's part of a larger initiative that we're calling the Wealth Accumulation Center. And we opened up our first one in Pagedale toward the end of February. And if you can imagine a small strip center with three distinct storefronts. One is RedDough, one is an Excel Center, and one is a mini branch of St. Louis Community Credit Union.
Wow.
And so the idea is that people may be on board, if you will, with RedDough, taking advantage of the low-cost alternative financial services there. But then what we try to do after we've gained their trust, we try to refer them over to the Excel Center so that they can take advantage of the services that are available there, the free seminars, the free one-on-one coaching, financial coaching, and so forth. And then the idea being eventually they could open up a mainstream account at the credit union if they wish, or at another bank. But also what we found in the process that there are a lot of people who already have a bank account someplace else, but they're choosing to use RedDough because maybe they're having a tough time qualifying for a loan elsewhere. So they can maybe get a start or a fresh start with RedDough and hopefully move forward from there.
So RedDough can help improve credit situation?
Well, first and foremost, it can help ease the debt burden because it's affordable access to credit. Period.
Oh.
What we eventually want to be able to do is to report to the traditional credit bureaus, so that it can also be a way for people to rebuild their credit. But we're not quite set up for that just yet. Mm-hmm. We're trying to find an efficient way to do that. It's rather expensive to partake in that process, so we're trying to explore some other options. But that's part of the long-term strategy, is to help people rebuild their credit through RedDough.
Well, for our listeners, let's go ahead and just paint a picture. If we have two columns side by side, RedDough versus the predatory payday loan and lenders that we typically see. Let's do a comparison contrast so that we can really make it clear.
Well, first of all, our signature product is what we call our Helping Hand loan. It's an installment loan up to $500. So it's not a traditional payday loan. So instead of having just 14 days to pay back the loan like you do at a regular payday lender, you have 4 to 6 months to repay at RedDough.
Nice.
And instead of paying, on average here in Missouri, you'll pay about 450% on a payday loan.
Just rewind that. 450%.
Typically, that loan at the payday lender is going to be between $18 and $20 per hundred. So let's say, for ease of math, $20. So $500 you borrow, $20 per hundred. So you owe $600, if my math is correct.
Wait a minute.
You owe $600 in 2 weeks, right?
Oh yeah.
You borrow $500. You're paying $20 per hundred.
Got it.
So you owe $600 in 2 weeks.
Right.
Okay. What oftentimes happens, though, is folks, they didn't have the money today, so in 14 days they're probably not going to have it. Yeah. So they end up having to roll it over and pay those fees again and again and again, and that's how they get buried in debt. With us giving you more time to pay it back at a rate of 36% APR, typically if you borrow $500 from us in 6 months, you're going to owe about $560. So you've paid about $60 in interest over that 6 months versus, hundreds and hundreds of dollars over, the course of your loan at the payday lender.
And a desperate situation that continues to spiral out of control.
Right.
And with education and help and support and guidance and tools and resources that can help you get out of a tenuous situation that caused you to need an emergency cash in the first place. And that's through the Excel Center and the coaches.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not required to use the Excel Center if you borrow with RedDough, but it's certainly a natural step in the right direction. We want to create that pathway to economic empowerment, economic independence, and the Excel Center is a big part of the puzzle, because a lot of folks, let's face it, they get into a financial situation. It's not by choice, obviously, and it's not because they were lazy or negligent or whatever. Oftentimes, life happens to them. Maybe it's a health problem. Maybe they lose their job. Maybe they have legal issues. Whatever the case may be, that ends up affecting their financial situation. So the Excel Center, the coaches that we have there, if they're not experts in every situation, they have a network of resources available where they can point you in the right direction to help you get some of the other assistance that you might need. The other thing I wanted to mention, Jade, was the fact that right now you may have heard recently that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, held a field hearing in Kansas City recently to talk about new rules that they're going to implement that will affect the payday lending industry in the near future. And as a result, there will probably be a lot of these smaller traditional payday lenders that will go out of business because the compliance costs are going to be sky high. Yes, and what we've done at RedDough, we've anticipated that this was going to happen. We had heard about it for literally a year in advance of us opening our doors back in February. And so we kind of tailored our loan product according to what we anticipated the CFPB was going to do, so that we wouldn't be subjected to these additional compliance costs.
Awesome.
Being a nonprofit, we have to watch our expenses. But more importantly, we devised our product as being much more consumer friendly, and we fully expect it to be a model for how to make small dollar loans in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that once the word continues to spread about what we're doing and how we're different from the traditional sources out there for credit, that we that a lot more folks will give us a try.
What will that mean in the long run? Because it's unprecedented. It takes patience. There's more risk involved, and you all are saying yes, we're going to go for it because we expect this particular outcome.
Well, I think it's one of those things where we want to help people have an affordable option. We want to help them get out of this cycle of debt and get to a point where they can kind of shape their own future. It is a risky proposition for us, but being a nonprofit, we've got folks that believe in what we are doing. We received a grant to help start up our business, and we hope to grow as a result. We've got our first location in Pagedale. We hope to open another one by early next year in South St. Louis. But the whole idea is to help people get to where they need to be financially and do more for themselves and for their families.
That's right.
We also, I'm particularly proud of another thing that I believe sets us apart, and that's our brand promise. We tell folks that when you do business with RedDough, you're not only helping improve your own financial well-being, but you're helping the community, and I'll tell you why. It's because in addition to keeping our rates and fees as low as possible, any money that we do make will be reinvested in the community. That money will be funneled back through Prosperity Connections Excel Center and used to help fund the services that are provided there to make the community better. So it's really a win-win proposition when you choose to do business with RedDough.
That's right. When you choose to do business, your business in turn gives back and builds community. That's the ideal model. I'm getting choked up a little bit. Wow, this is great news, Michael. How can we in the community help?
Well, again, being a nonprofit, we don't have a huge advertising budget. We have found that the more opportunities we have to talk to people about what we're doing, that's why I'm so grateful to be on the air today and you giving me the opportunity to talk to your listeners about what we're doing. Once people hear about what we're trying to do and the philosophy behind it, they totally embrace it, and they start to tell other people. And so I think that's the biggest thing you can do for us, is just to help spread the word. And I also to know that in addition to the loan product that we have, we cash checks, we sell money orders. We're a MoneyGram agent, so you can pay bills and do wire transfers. We've got a prepaid debit card. All of these things we try to price below market, and so that people can keep more money in their pocket. And at the end of the day, we just want to give people more affordable options for financial services and get them on the path to economic independence.
That is tremendous, and it'll be my pleasure to spread the word. I love to talk about community good.
Well, we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, tell folks where they can get connected and start plugging into this pathway.
Well, again, it's the RedDough Money Center. That's Red, R-E-D, Dough, D-O-U-G-H. You can get more information at reddough.com, or you can call us. Our number is 314-726-2626. 2678. I also encourage you to go to the website of Prosperity Connection, prosperityconnection.org. There's a tab on that website for the Excel Center, and you can look up the schedule for the seminars, the classes that we have, or you can also directly contact one of our coaches for free one-on-one financial coaching.
Absolutely, and they've got some of the best coaches over there. Jason
McCall. By the way, I told him I was going to be on the air with you. He wanted me to tell you hello.
Oh, my goodness, yes. An air hug for him. Jason McCall. There's other great coaches there. Look forward to classes that include living with bad credit, learning about insurance from the ground up, first-time home buying, of course, and repairing your credit. And then as we wrap up the summer, getting back to school and your back-to-school budgeting. So there's so much that you can take part in and just gain the information and opportunity you need to succeed. There's no reason for you not to, and that's what they're here for. The more we do it, the more they can. So let's plug in RedDough, the RedDough Money Centers, and we are so glad to be speaking with Michael O'Brien, who is the president of the RedDough Money Centers. Thank you again for joining us today.
You're welcome, Jade. I really appreciate it.
All right, that's it for this week. If you have questions or comments or have something you'd like to include in the community calendar, you can leave a message on our message box at 314-333-8369, 314-333-8369. And for more information about our show or any of our guests, you can visit us online and listen to the podcasts at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. And search Community Connection with Jade Harrell. You all be blessed, do blessed, and take care.